Hi and welcome to CMP Studios once again. Today I thought I'd create a small video about how to create a fog brush in Photoshop. It's something I've always avoided doing rather than going online and having a seek out of free brushes and things like that. And then realizing it was an exceptionally simple operation. So let's get started. First of all, what we need is a file of a cloud, which this particular one I took the other day, just out and about on my phone, so it's not a particularly high-res image. And we'll get started. First off, we need to select the cloud we want to convert into a brush, so I just press L to bring up the lasso tool, draw a fairly vague circle around there. To get that out, we press Ctrl J, which gives us a duplicate, as you can see over here, on a new layer. And by pressing G, we'll bring up our bucket fill. And what I want to do now is just bucket fill the rest of the image that we've chosen. So there you can see the cloud is fairly well highlighted out there, and the rest is in black. Next move is just to slip over to our channels and try and work out which of the channels has the most contrast. Here's the red channel, which seems fairly good. Let's go down, try the green. It seems a little no contrast in there, and even less in there. So it is definitely the red channel that's got greater contrast between the white of the cloud and the grey as it is of the background. Next, we'll just grab this layer and drag it down to the plus sign at the bottom, which will give us a copy. You can name this, of course. I will name it cloud. And what we need to do here is to try and ensure that the cloud itself has some light to it, and the rest of what we don't need turns to black. To do this, we'll press Ctrl L, which will bring up our levels screen. And we shall shimmy with the midtones, bringing those darker, and then highlights to try and keep those up. And we'll just move these until we have some cloud left. I don't want too many highlights, but I do definitely want the black to match the black of the background. Let's have a look. I'll have another tease of the highlights just to give us a greater amount of form, and check that my background is black enough. There we go. Well, I think we've got something there. Press OK. We then drag this down to the marching ants down at the bottom, and that will select what is mostly the highlights within the channel. Back over to our layers panel, we'll add a new layer, turn off the ones underneath, and simply Alt and Backspace, and we fill our selection created with black. Control D will take away the marching ants, and if we go to our Edit, Define Brush Preset, I'll call this Fog 06, I think I've got. Press OK, and there she is. She is all ready and waiting. It won't show up too well up on here, so previously I just created a black new document. So as you can see what happens, make sure that your color is on white. Now in the first instance, that's not particularly good. Control Z that. What we need to do before the brush becomes really useful is add some brush tool settings, which you can get from the little file folder up top. Shape dynamics, add those, double click the heading and increase the size jitter a bit, the angle jitter a bit, and this is all going to be personal taste as to what you wish your brush to do. Next up is transfer. Double click that. Now this has been set earlier for how I use things, but we'll chuck up the opacity jitter. We'll then a little bit of flow jitter, and under the opacity jitter, it's good to press, if you have a tablet, press pen pressure, which is quite difficult to say actually. And as you can see, we have a greater use of the brush. It's just lovely. Look at that. We are creating clouds from clouds, and the harder you press it, the greater amount of white paint that's been put down. And I think that's a fairly successful brush. Doesn't take a moment or two. We have a either fog or cloud brush that you can use on your images whenever you like. And that is as simple as it is. Either watch this now, save it for later. Do please subscribe, it always helps. And we shall catch up with you soon. Thanks for watching.